Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming. I know I've asked already a couple of you, but who's nervous? Good. You know, as we're sitting here, I'm starting to feel my heart go a little bit too. I'm getting nervous, excited. As I mentioned before, I think it's a really healthy subconscious response to the energy that has already started to move. The body is very intelligent and it's very aware and it's already moving. So to talk about the body a little bit, from a physiological point of view, the mind will hold emotional trauma as a constriction in the nervous system. So the nervous system is everywhere in the body. Everywhere where there's sensation, the nervous system exists. It's everywhere. And as it connects to the tissue, it can hold muscles. So it's the nervous system that defines all of the movement. But what happens is that through our lives of experiencing pain and fear and regret and worry, anger, the body can hold these experiences in different places so that in the holding it blocks energy moving through that space. While there's a lot of reasons to understand the alkalizing and oxygenating of the body from other biological, reasons like eliminating free radicals and all that stuff, the main thing that I see that's valuable from a physiological point of view with the breath work is that it encourages the body to almost like seek out and open up these constrictions. It's kind of like imagine if you had like a garden hose, an old garden hose just in the lawn and it's all kind of crumpled up. It used to be in a nice coil, but now it's kind of crumpled up. Well, if you plug it in and turn on the water, what's going to happen is that the water is going to flow very quickly through the open sections and then hit a kink. And then when it hits that kink, it's going to snap the kink open and keep going. And then it's going to cascade through the hose until it's flowing freely. And that's fundamentally what's going to happen with your body. And it's good to notice, like, if there's discomfort somewhere in the joints or inside or in your face or constriction, it's just the energy pushing through. There's just energy moving through that. It's very, very common. It's really common that people will get like little Tyrannosaurus arms. It's also common that the muscles around the face will kind of pucker, because the hands and the face, the head are very, I don't know if I say common, but they're the more likely places that the energy will exit. You can also get tingling in your feet, tingling in the palms. There's lots of ways that the energy will move, but it can be very exotic as well, and it's nothing to be concerned about. We've been doing this for a long time. I've done hundreds of sessions, and it's a wild experience in the sense that you can't anticipate it. So one of the things about, when we're done with this intro talk, we're gonna close up the lighting a little bit, and we're gonna invite you to be on your back with your eyes closed and to keep your eyes closed the whole time. And the main reason why that's important is because it really keeps you in your process. Other people around you are going to be having their own experience, and you can hear them and get involved with them, but that feels like an empathetic extension of yourself, but really what you're doing is you're avoiding your own process, and that's what you're here to do. It's Shauna and I, it's our job to monitor and to facilitate everyone else. We want each of you to be in your own space with your process, and I encourage that point because on the same note that we don't want you to distract yourself with someone else, we also don't want you to in any way hold something in because you're afraid someone's going to hear it. We're all friends here. This is a safe space. If something needs to come out, let it out. That's why we're here. It might be crying. It might be yelling. It might be twisting around. It might be sneezing or farting. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Don't hold it back. Like, let those kinks come out. That's very important. That's fundamentally, that's what we want for each of you, is to experience where it is that you are holding a tension or a kink in your system, and we want it to smooth out and flow. And as this flowing occurs, you'll notice a very, very physical difference when something moves, and when the process is done, you'll feel the energy flowing much more freely in your body. It's quite nice. So some ways that we can subconsciously sabotage that flow is by our posture. For example, when you talk about like someone with a closed posture being unfriendly, they're literally closing their energy to you. So if you notice yourself lying down, and if you want to just fold your hands, that's fine. That's different. But if you're going like this or your legs are crossed, this is a way for the body to kind of like pretend like it's not hiding something, but it is. Another way is to crouch over. Like when you have a pain and you protect it, and it's a defense mechanism. I want to encourage you to not indulge that. So if something hurts, and that's a possibility that you're going to have discomfort and it's not moving, you can call us over. That's okay to say, Michael, Shauna, I need help. It's okay to say that, and we'll come over and we'll help you. Let's see. The bulk of the work that you'll be doing will be your work. And, that's one of the things that I find to be so profound about this type of healing medicine is that you are completely responsible for the value of what you get here. We're providing the space and the support, but it's all going to be you. What you get out of this is exactly what you put into it. So I find that that's really empowering, and it also shows you how much power you have all the time anyway. This sense of joy and peace and ecstatic states and psychedelic experiences, these are not things that someone does to you. They are things that are available to you, that you have available all the time, and it's just a matter of tapping into it. So we tend to not breathe in a way that is best suited to our bodies. Like babies, they'll breathe always from their belly, and then as we age, we kind of learn to have more and more shallow breath. So this is kind of retraining as well as catch-up work. Like, you brush your teeth, but then every 6 months or whatever, you go to the dentist, and they go in there and they do the deep work to get all the stuff that you don't get. And that's kind of what this is doing that deeper work to clean out things that have accumulated. So even though all of the real work is going to come from you guys, Sean and I will be doing our best to facilitate this in the most smooth, gracious, go with the flow. We're going to do our best to identify energy that's moving in a strong way and to help it move through as quickly as possible. There is no value in suffering. This is an idea that I think a lot of people kind of inherit from their parents, that in order for something to be good, you have to suffer for it. That's not true. Now, that doesn't mean you won't feel discomfort, but the suffering is not necessary. There's no reason for anyone to be a martyr today. If you're in pain, let us know. That's why we have our skills that we're bringing with music and crystals and the sounds. and our intuition with the body work and all that. We don't want you to suffer. That's important. But we will push you to the point that we think you can handle. So, it's not light work, but it's not suffering. There's a delicate balance of the warrior spirit that we're asking for, of having the courage to look at what it is that you might be doing to yourself to sabotage your own happiness and well-being. And we want to get you to the point to see that. That's very important. I don't know. So Shauna is going to guide a short meditation, and then we will get started. The schedule will be, the breathwork is going to go for about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on where everyone is. And it's fine and I'm going to start the breathing. You'll hear me breathing into the mic, which I'm really happy to have. I'm going to start the pace of the breathing, and as you're going, it's okay if something gets a little bit disorienting and you need to pull back a little bit. That's fine. If you want to go 100% for a full hour, that's awesome, and power to you. If it seems like sometimes something emotionally meaningful, like there's a meat to it that needs to be looked at, and you want to pull back and look at it, that's fine too. That's okay to spend a little bit of time with that. But as I said, we'll be monitoring everybody, and it seems like you've pulled out too much, then we'll come and coach you back into it. So after the breath work, which will be an hour to possibly an hour and a half, depending on where people are at, then we're going to give some time for everyone to just really relax, and we'll play some music and let this just all settle, and then we'll serve cacao and share and all that. And if you need to leave, then you're free to go. The door is locked right now. You can't go now. But once the breath work is done, then you can go. So Frederick, I know you wanted to leave early. We'll let you know when we're at time for you. Yeah. So as far as the breathing itself, there's not a wrong way to do it. And in fact, in the many traditions that do different styles of breath work, they all coach it differently. So you can't say that one is better or worse than another. The way that we do it comes from Hawaiian shamanism, and that's a deep breath from the belly through the mouth. Now I say, do I can breathe through the nose or the mouth? It really doesn't matter. It's not important. I recommend through the mouth just because, for me personally, my nose is not totally open all the time, and so I don't have as much free flow of air through my nose. That's the only reason why. But if you feel like you're getting enough air in through your nose, that's fine. But I recommend the mouth. And you want to be about the pace of so that's the pace, and I'll lead that through for the first couple of minutes, so that'll set it. But it's also not critical to stay at that pace. If you find that being a little bit faster is good for you, go faster. Let the intelligence of your body dictate that pace. I'm just going to set a general, guideline for that. If going slower seems more appropriate, that's fine to go slower. Just don't trick yourself into thinking, I need to go a little slower, but I'm actually just hiding behind that. There's a lot of ways that we can trick ourselves into avoiding our pain. So just be mindful of that. And if we notice that you're doing a little bit of trickery, we'll come over and... No. So... okay, I think that's... Oh, any questions?
Do you mind if I just quickly go to the hall?
Oh, yeah.
Is it locked?
The outer door is locked. The inner door should be fine. But yeah, anybody who needs to go to the restroom is... Yeah.